All right, so Boker Tov, Shalom Aleichem. It's Mikael again. I want to give all praise to the Most High, once again allowing me and you to see another day, which we have never seen. For all mercy, favor, compassion, kindness, love, and mercy. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Today is April 23rd of 2014, Abib 23rd, 59.99. I want to continue in the stream which we started yesterday and ask the question, who is anti-mashiyach, or who is the anti-messiah, which the world more formally knows as the Antichrist? Who is Antichrist? What is Antichrist? You hear the ticket in the background, back of my car. Anti-mashiyach. Of course, it is an opponent of the Father and the Son, but we have to understand the word anti in the sense of the Greek rendering of the word anti. And I'm going to post some passages that demonstrate what this word anti means fully. But it comes from a word meaning as opposed to, in a sense of like a substitute or a counterfeit. Something that is a replacement. Okay? It is not like anti against. It is as opposed to. Okay, very subtle semantic meaning in the distinction of the word. Okay, so anti. And we're gonna really get into who this true spirit is, because it does go back to the days of Nimrod in scripture, of course, with him proclaiming to be the sun god, and his wife also having a huge hand, Semiramis, and their child Tammuz, who also was a savior-like being. By the way, it is one of the first trinities known to man, much akin to Aset, Asar, and Heru, or Osiris, Isis, and Horus. Also akin to Woden, Freya, and Thor, or Odin, Frigga, and Thor of the Norse mythological cosmology or pantheon. So this mystery of who anti-messiah is, and of course there are many in the spirit of who deny that the Son of Elohim has come in the flesh, which is also a spirit of anti-mashiyach or anti-messiah, because it was combating a Gnostic doctrine, a substitute doctrine that was rife in the first century, that spoke of a mystical Christ or mystical Messiah that was completely inundated in a Hellenistic doctrine. That's Greco and Roman influence. And so we have to look at that to really get a good context of this anti-messianic spirit, or anti-Christ-like spirit, as is commonly known. But I would even say this: the word Christ is a substitute of Mashiach, which is the Hebraic original idea or office, more so. Mashiach coming from the word mashach, which means to anoint with oil in order to consecrate or dedicate, set apart for a specific purpose. And of course you have HaMashiach, which is the anointed one prophesied to come. In the Greek Strong's lexicon, you have the word Messias, Messias, which is the transliteration. Notice what I said, transliteration, which is a phonetic carrying over of the sounds from one language to another, which all proper nouns, which are persons, places, and things, are carried over. What do you mean, Mikael? Well, for instance, Mikael, a Hebraic origin word, is carried over phonetically and transliterated to other languages as the English we know as Michael. In French, you have Michel. In Russian, you have Michael. So on and so forth. But no matter what, names are transliterated, not translated. Names are never translated. Okay? And so when the Greco-Roman world decided to translate the name of Mashiach, they substituted something for what was originally in place. Now, let's get to the deeper matters. And that's a deep matter, don't get me wrong, because that is a very crucial matter that I've been reasoning with a couple of individuals about, as far as this name, Jesus Christos. And Christos as well was used by the Romans prior to affixing it to the word Jesus or Jesus, okay, which is a fusion of words Iso, which was a Greek healing goddess, and Zeus or Deus, which means the guide. Of course, that is the highest deity in the Roman pantheon. But Christos Helios was also another word used for Mithra, and also for these worshippers of Serapis, who were also called Christians. Serapis, S-E-R-A-P-I-S, were serpent worshippers in not only Kemet or Mitzrayim or Egypt, but also in the Roman world, where they were called Christians, Christianos, or Cretans. Okay? Look up that word Cretan, C-R-E-T-A-N or C-R-E-T-I-N. Look that word up. But these individuals were worshippers of a Gnostic set of teachings, a pagan inundated set of teachings that had nothing to do with Torah, nothing to do with the promises related to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And so this is what has circulated in the world of Christendom pretty much since the 3rd century in force and by force. Now, the individual responsible for that, the man of sin, known as the son of lawlessness, the man of sin, the son of perdition, who shall be revealed and is being revealed as we speak, because this person, or this office, shall I say, this office has deceived many. And like I said, we're carrying over from yesterday because it's related to the 4th beast very, very intimately, as it is one of the known heads, one of the 2 heads of the 4th beast. Now, I want to kind of preface that we're going into this because right now there's a double whammy that's taking place with Jorge Bergoglio inaugurated as the Bishop of Rome, known as the Pope, the supreme leader of the Christian world, the infallible office of the Pope. Double whammy because, one, he is a providential in the Latin American Jesuit order from Argentina. And by providential, I mean he is a true dignitary of this particular order of Jesuits, or the Society of Jesus, which has a very, very, very cloudy and murky history. There was one superior general of the society by the name of Francesco, interesting name because that's what Pope Francis is, Francesco Borgia. I do believe he is a distant relative of Rodrigo Borgia, who was known as Pope Alexander VI, and also Cesare Borgia, which was Rodrigo's son, who became the image or the face of who the world now known as Jesus Christos, Cesare Borgia. Some call him Caesar Borgia. If you watch the Borgia series on Showtime, they pronounce his name Cesare Borgia. Check it out. Very interesting series. But Francesco Borgia, this general superior or superior general of the Society of Jesus, once said that we shall come in like lambs and we will rule like wolves. We shall be sent out like dogs and shall return like eagles. This is the general superior or superior general of the Society of Jesus telling you what this Jesuit order will rule as, and how they will rule, and how they will come in with intrigue and subterfuge, which is their whole MO, their modus operandi, or their mode of operation. So it's interesting to note that also in 1773, because of the intrigues, just getting long story short, because of their intrigues and their diabolic ways of actioning, much akin to the Knights Templar, Jacques de Molay, leader, who was pretty much burned at the stake for his involvement in satanic rituals within the Catholic Church. So interesting that it's been so going on for so long. But he was found guilty and immolated, burned at the stake with his counterparts, and they were disbanded as well. But another notorious organization has managed to survive, that of the Jesuits, although in 1773 under Pope Clement XIV, under the papal bull of Dominus Redemptor, permanently suppressed the order of the Jesuits. But upon him signing that papal bull, he knew that was his death warrant. And eventually what happened was he was assassinated by the then superior general by the name of Ricci, R-I-C-C-I. And he was assassinated, and Pope Clement XV quickly issued another papal bull restoring the Jesuit order to full temporal power, which the superior general is also known as the Black Pope. Today his name is Nicolas Adolfo Pancho from Spain. He is a Spaniard. He is the one who really pulls the strings, as the Jesuit order is the military, the Marines even of the papacy, the Vatican, the Holy See. And they are very cutthroat in their ways, even though they cloak their intrigues in charitable deeds such as universities or education, schools, and hospitals. But just getting to the matter, because this is one of the unseen forces behind this institution known as the Fourth Beast, or the Vatican, the Holy See. The white Pope, who is Pope Francis, who is a Jesuit, the first ever in history, and the 119th Pope, and last, according to the prophecy of Saint Malachi, of Martin, I think is a name. I believe it is his name. But long story short, the office of the white Pope has a title, and the title is intimately related to what Revelation 13, I believe verse 18 says. It says, here is wisdom. For the number of the beast is the number of a man, and his number is 666, right? And just kind of really just bringing this to a close, when you look up the office of the Pope, one of the offices is Vicarius Filii Dei. That is spelled Vicarius, Vicarius Filii, Filii, and Dei, Dei, which means the substitute of the Son of God. Okay? It literally means the substitute, running over some railroad tracks, the substitute of the Son of God. Okay? Interesting thing, Latin letters, like Hebrew letters, have something called gematria. You have the red, you're not supposed to go. Sorry, people don't know how to drive and read signs like it is in the world today with what's going on in the world with so many signs apparent. Anyway, so the Hebrew letters and the Latin letters both have numerical equivalents. So when you take the numerical equivalent of Vicarius Filii Dei and you add them all together, you have the number 666. So, people have said the Antichrist was Nero, the Antichrist was Hitler. I mean, they were anti-messiahs in the sense that they were opposed to the people of the Most High. But they were also just taking orders from the true anti-messiah. Although Nero was a part of the office, because the deep thing is this: the Roman Empire lives through the Vatican Church. Okay? Because Caesar Maximus was the name of the Caesar. Now, it's interesting to note the Pope's title is Pontifex Maximus. Pontifex Maximus. So, this anti-Christ-like spirit is completely been embodied in the institution of the Vatican under the office of the Pope. And there will be some links that will connect the dots with this and demonstrate how this is the matter. And we have to really understand the historical ramifications and the prophetic ramifications that are surrounding this, as they are truly deep and truly wondrous and truly marvelous, because after this deadly wound has been healed, it says that people will marvel. And now the Jesuits have been elevated with Pope Francis and his papacy. Not only has the Catholic Church taken an upward swing, but the Jesuits too have taken an upward swing, as they have been more favorably looked upon, which is pretty much the plan for them to go ahead and carry out their intrigues and the like. Very, very diabolic, to say the least, in what they're going to do and unfold. So, as the world is just enamored in what has taken place with this so eloquently spoken and kind-hearted wolf, it is going to be very interesting to see how this all unfolds. Really against the expectations of the masses, who are really just, unfortunately, deaf, dumb, and blind, and just listening to words and not really seeing the spirit behind it, and understanding history, more importantly. One of the most prideful statements about the papacy is that the boast of Rome never changes. The boast of Rome, it never changes. And as they say, all roads lead to Rome. Yes, indeed, all roads do lead to Rome. So I just want to leave you all with those thoughts this morning, praying that they are truly insightful, even challenging to you. We need to be challenged. We need to be stirred out of our slumber, out of our comfort zones, to really pursue and seek for that which is the truth. And I pray that these words do that, and understand, as individuals who may be Catholics, I am not attacking you all. There are institutions that are much more powerful than we would ever imagine. As we know, the entire world lies under the sway of Satan. How do we know that? In Matthew 4, when Yahushua was taken to the highest peak in the land of Israel and shown all the kingdoms of their world and their majesty, Ha-Shatan told him, I will give you all these kingdoms if you bow down and worship me. How could he do such a thing unless all those kingdoms were in his possession? The kingdoms of the world. Now let's be clear and understand that. There's no way that he could have offered that to Yehoshua except that he had possession of them. How did he retain possession of them? Simple. When Adam fell in the garden, everything was turned over to Ha-Shaitan. The deed of the earth was turned over to Ha-Shaitan, and the institutions he created, the counterfeit institutions, served to counterfeit the kingdom of heaven on earth, because he wanted his own kingdom. When you read Isaiah 14, it gets into it a little more specifically. But yeah, there was someone who took that proposition and worshiped Satan, and that person today is the fourth beast, the office of the papacy, the office of the Pope, the Vatican. They are the most powerful institution on earth, and they are the ones that are leading the rebellion into this mystery Babylonian system that we now know and exist and operate in, which is the law of the sea, the maritime law, commercial and civil law, and very interesting. So with that, may Yah bless and keep you. May Yah cause his countenance to shine upon you, be kind unto you, and may Yah lift up his face unto you and give you peace. One love. Shalom Aleichem.